So we have our guitar ready for the new pickguard that we're going to put on it. And here at Greasy Groove we manufacture a whole array of pickguards of various different materials and shapes, and we make pretty much everything here. So there's a nice wooden pickguard, that'll look pretty good on there, but we're not going to go for that today. We make exotic wood pickguards and many different styles. We manufacture these graphical pickguards. There's a nice pin-up gal, she'd look pretty cool. This is another one of our designs, a pretty nice, much more colourful psychedelic eye design. That'll look pretty sharp on there, looks great against the black. We could choose one of our many perloids, they're pretty cool, that'll look kind of nice on the guitar. We have a lot of our own special guards. This one's a textured guard. It's very kind of bumpy to match in with the reptile skin effect that we've printed on there. And these printed guards, by the way, are extremely durable. That's not going to wear off. It's not a sticker or anything like that. It's heat impregnated into the surface of the plastic. But I would say if you're going to change the guitar, then let's change it for real. Let's be daring enough to put something nice and bold on there. So today I'm going to fit this guy on here. This is one of our tail guards. It's designed in a retro style to kind of depict a 57 Chevy tail fin there. So before we go ahead and fit the pickguard, this is a great opportunity to take a look at the pickups, and the pickup cover is very easily removable. We can take that off, and at this stage we could fit another pickup top. Right? We could put another cover on very easily. We're not going to do that, we're going to stay with the white ones. So what I like to do at this stage is grab a couple of these the pickup screws. We're just going to pop those in there and just lift the pickup out of the pocket, pop a spring on the back here and just line up the screw, give it a couple of turns with our fingers just to get that screw started. Okay, I'm going to get the other spring for the other side. I'm going to pop that guy on. Line that up and pick up there and just give it a couple of turns with my fingers. So now both screws are started. I'm just going to tighten it up a little bit with the screwdriver and just get the top of the pickup cover somewhere flush with the top of the pickguard. So now we're going to do that with all three pickups. Now that we have our pickguard assembled with the pickups in place, we have a number of sharp objects protruding out the back of the guard, so I'm going to take the extra precaution here of pulling the cloth over the guitar so that if we do decide to rest it down, we're not running any risk of scratching the instrument at all. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the pots. So let's just grab our volume pot, push it through from the back. We take the washer, put the washer on the top and one of the nuts, and we're just going to finger tighten that. And we just move on to the tone pot, and everything's kind of hanging in the right place on the guitar to fit together right now. So if ever you take a guitar apart and everything doesn't seem to hang in the right place, I'd just recommend getting some masking tape and just put a little bit of masking tape on the back of the pot and make a note of which pot it was. You can always do that kind of thing. So very quickly we've got the pots in place. We take the throw arm from the 5-position switch, we pop that through the slot and we get the 5-position switch screws. Now all the screws are different, so you need to make a note of which screws are for which part on the guitar. For example, these on the 5-position switch are a short set screw, like most of the other screws on the guitar. These are a short, dumpy little thing. And we're just going to tighten them up a little bit. Now everything's fully assembled, I'm going to move away the cloth. I'm going to check behind. There's a cable way in here for all the cables to fall into between the cavities. Some guitars have a big cavity around the back here, but it's always a good idea just to make sure that your cables are nice and tidy. Make sure that throughout the whole process you didn't disconnect anything or nothing's come loose there. And we can go ahead and put the pickguard in place. So we're going to make sure we've got a nice snug fit there. Here we have our pickguard in position, ready to screw down. We have no cables trapped underneath, and everything looks good to go. I just at this stage would check that all the holes line up and that we have no issues with misalignment or anything like that. At Greasy Groove we manufacture all our pickguards ourselves, and we do lots and lots of different profiles. So if you check on our website or talk to one of our team, we'll be able to tell you exactly what you need for your instrument. If it's a profile that we don't have, then we would be pleased to manufacture it for you from a tracing. Or we can help you by some other means. But we can make pretty much anything here. So if you notice what I'm doing here, I'm putting all the screws in place. So I'm doing that just to make sure that every screw is sitting in a hole. Quite often if you start at one end of the pickguard and work your way around and tighten all the screws, you're going to get to the end one and it won't line up. So it's a standard procedure for putting anything together that has a number of fasteners. You do the same thing on a flange or anything that you're assembling. Just pop all the screws in place first before you start to tighten them. Now I'm not tightening these particularly tight at the moment, just running the screw down a little bit and going around the perimeter of the guard. So I have all of them in place. Now I'm just going to give them a final little nip down. Work my way around the pickguard. Next we can move on to the knobs. So there's a knob on the 5-position switch. Let's pop that on there just to push fit. Everything looks great there. I'm just going to tighten all the pots in place. Don't need to be too tight, just a nice little nip. And then I'm going to put the control knobs on the top, so I could put this the control knobs back, but I'm going to take the opportunity to fit some of these pretty nice chrome control knobs onto the guitar. Now what I would recommend for the first thing is just make sure all of the pots are wound anti-clockwise. So with all the pots anti-clockwise now, you can decide the position that you're going to put the switch on. So generally what I do with the pot wound anti-clockwise, I like the number 1 to be in this position here. So just going to pop that on like that. Again with the tones just the same. Line it up. So now, at least when I wind all the knobs back to 1, they all sit in the right position there. So there's the knobs fitted. We need to make a check on our pickguard height. So if you remember we made the notes earlier. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to raise the pickups up to the height that was set at. So here we have our fully assembled guitar. All that's left to do right now is just to restring the guitar and we're ready to rock. Here at Greasy Groove I like to provide you with all the components that you need to dress up your guitar and enhance your identity and give a very unique look to your instrument. I think when we go back to the initial pickguard, if I've seen one black Fender style guitar with a white pickguard, I must have seen 1,000, but when it comes to this guitar I think we've given it a very unique look, and it's to me that's pretty awesome. So if you want to check us out on www.greasygroove.com, feel free to do so. You find a lot of our parts that we manufacture, and if you have any questions I'd be very pleased for you to email us and I'll be happy to answer them. Again, www.greasygroove.com. Thank you.